responsibility to provide our next generation with the guidance, the fortitude, the strength, the community, and knowledge that they need to succeed.
We gotta cancel culture, change the way our kids are thinking. Think about the pain and anguish. We can save next generation. Break the cycle, no administration. Replacing anger with contemplation. Gotta teach them how to use their minds. Remind our kids they born divine. With a right to be, with a right to live, with a right to be exactly.
Welcome back. Anger Management for Parents with Coach B. Chapter 2 of this book, Anger Management for Parents. It's not the kids, it's you, written by Matthew Grand. My goal, my intention is to complete a project. This particular project is anger management episodes, 1 episode per chapter out of this book, with a little bit of extra stuff that I throw in, some exercises, some tips from different anger management resources. Some of it was the books I used when I was getting my cert. My goal is to just provide an entire playlist based on this book. I really like this book. And then on to the next project. So, without further ado, I love drinking my kids' juice. Okay, chapter 2, digging deeper into the roots of parental anger. W.E.B. Du Bois quoted, "Children learn more from what you are than what you teach." That checks out. Parenthood is an adventure filled with moments of happiness, affection, and awe, yet it doesn't come with its fair share of hurdles. Anger, a fundamental and critical emotion, can be provoked by many different actions and behaviors of your children. And while a certain level of anger can actually contribute positively to our psychological well-being, when this anger becomes excessive and unrestrained, it can potentially jeopardize the important bond between parent and child. Okay, Matthew, I see you. Now picture this. Your child ignores your 100th request to tidy their room or do their homework or stop whining. I added that, leaving you annoyed and angry. Or imagine the feeling of betrayal when you find out your child has lied to you. And what about the fear and anger you experience when your child engages in dangerous or risky activities, such as sneaking out or experimenting with drugs? Let's face it, children were born with a gift to stir intense emotions in us. It's no surprise that their actions can easily trigger feelings of anger. As parents, we must acknowledge and respect the fragile balance of power inherent in our relationship with our children. Our children depend on us for their basic needs, such as sustenance, housing, clothing, emotional support, and love. It's not merely shouting, but other actions, such as devaluing, ignoring, or neglecting a child that can make them feel vulnerable, insecure, and profoundly unsettled. These negative interactions can imprint long-lasting effects on their well-being and their capacity to establish healthy relationships as they grow older. By comprehending the power dynamics within the child-parent connection, you can approach their actions more thoughtfully, manage their emotions, and conduct yourself in a manner that encourages their children's maturation and evolution. Sounds like pie. So, why do our children seem to have the power to push all the right buttons and make us lose control? It's one of those mysterious questions of the universe. The answer lies in our childhood experiences, trauma, abuse, neglect, and household conflict. These experiences shape and form our emotional responses and trigger anger in adulthood. When we become parents, we carry the emotional baggage of our own childhood experiences. Unsettled issues from our past can complicate our ability to address our children's actions with a composed and logical approach. Occasionally, our children's actions may stimulate memories of our personal childhood adversity or conflict, leading us to wrestle with emotional management. Let me explain how all of this happens on a subconscious level. Visualize a triggering event, perhaps something as trivial as your kids causing the milk to spill. Now, for this example, let's rewind the time and go back to when you were a mere child, say around 6 years old. Your father had a habit of making you clean up after your younger sister's frequent milk spills. This routine persisted for a substantial period. After enduring roughly a year of mopping up after your infant sister's milk mishaps, your father eventually assumed the responsibility, freeing you from the chore and eventually forgetting all about the matter. However, as a child, consistently cleaned up spilled milk daily was exasperating, leaving you annoyed and instilling a sense of bitterness towards your younger sister each time she caused a spill. Fast forward to today. These incidents initiate a domino effect, resulting in a reaction. This could manifest as shouting, physical actions, or another instinctual response. In this instance, it provokes a particular emotional state within you, and before you're even aware of it, you're responding automatically. Everyone is wired this way. It is just how the human mind works. Hopefully, you can see how this affects a lot of our behavior. Understanding that many of our behaviors are deeply ingrained and occur automatically can help alleviate some of our guilt. However, it's crucial to remember that this understanding should never be used as an excuse to brush off our behavior. Sasha. Trauma explains behavior, it does not excuse behavior. What ignites our rage and drives us over the edge? Have you ever wondered what makes you tense and irritable and what gets you so upset? You need to discover what is causing your anger to be able to manage it effectively. Taking the time to delve into what triggers your anger provides valuable insights. It allows you to identify specific situations, events, or even people that ignite your frustration and anger. Knowing what sparks your anger can be the difference between a balanced and healthy emotional life versus one filled with stress and tension. Man, Matthew Grant is killing it right now. Picture a scenario when you can navigate potentially anger inducing circumstances with a newfound sense of calm and serenity. Instead of being swept away by a tidal wave of frustration, you approach challenges with grace and composure. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's within your grasp. Through self reflection and exploration, you can uncover the underlying causes of your anger. It might be past experiences, unmet needs, or even unresolved emotions that continue to linger beneath the surface. At the end of this chapter, you will have an assignment to help you uncover your specific triggers and better understand yourself and your emotions. For now, let's go over some of the common anger triggers that most people will experience so you may work towards a more peaceful existence. Unfairness. Have you ever thought to yourself, that's just not right? Experiencing unfair treatment can be a normal part of our day to day lives, especially when living with young ones. This feeling can be a tiny nuisance or an immense irritation. And it's not just the kids, it can be your spouse, colleagues, or even a stranger you just met. Picture this: you're busy making dinner while your children are immersed in their favorite TV show. You might feel it's unfair that they don't lend a hand while you're busy in the kitchen, but from their perspective, they're taking a well earned break after a tiring day at school. We all have our own perspective about what's fair since we all view life from different angles. Our judgments, thoughts, processing, and conclusions are different from others. Since we're in a world where everything isn't perfectly equal, it's common to encounter situations that seem unfair. The best way to navigate these instances is to keep a cool head, understand others' viewpoints. Keep in mind that they might see the situation differently, and there could be reasons behind their behavior unknown to you. By carefully pondering the situation and tactfully addressing the issue, we can steer clear of disputes and arrive at solutions that benefit everyone. Y'all know what I'm about to say, right? That's when you cut on the AC. Get authentically curious. When the temperature rises, cut on the AC to cool it down. Authentic curiosity will always get you to a better place. It might not get you from 10 to 0, but it'll damn sure get you closer to 5 when you're at a 10. Let's say your kids are messing around in the living room and accidentally break a precious vase your grandma gave you. It would be natural to feel upset, but rather than losing your temper, you decide to take a moment to calm down. As you calm down, you realize that you never explained to your kids that the vase they just broke was special to you. You also remember that they were busy all week, burdened with schoolwork, and just now had the chance to blow off steam running around the house. They didn't mean to break your vase. So, after taking the time to consider the situation well, you avoid an angry outburst and decide to chat with your kids, explaining why the vase was so special to you. You then all work together to figure out what to do next. They could do some chores to save up for a new vase, or you could try fixing the one that's been broken. This approach doesn't help sort out the immediate problem. It also teaches your kids an important lesson about owning up to their mistakes and caring about other people's feelings. It demonstrates that if you stay calm and work together, you can resolve misunderstandings, feel better emotionally, and get along better with others. So, the next time you face a situation that seems unfair, remember that staying calm and responding positively can help you manage the situation, leading to a more peaceful and balanced life for you and your loved ones. The next one is daily chaos. Ever feel like each day is a wild balancing act between work, kids, school stuff, sports, friends, and errands? It's no surprise we sometimes feel swamped. We've all had those moments, yelling at our kids to hurry up because we're late. These time pressures pile on the stress and pull us in all directions. It's easy to lose our cool when we're in a hurry and things get overlooked. With some planning and getting things in order, we can dodge these time pressures and feel more in charge. One of the best ways to do this is by making a family timetable that keeps track of everyone's duties. This doesn't have to be a tedious chore. You can turn it into a fun family activity. Get everyone together, go to the kitchen or any other central spot, and work together to make a timetable that includes each person's task. It's like doing a puzzle with the family, but instead of puzzle pieces, you fit everyone's chores and errands. By knowing what needs to be done, the family can work together to keep everything tidy and on track, leading to a more chilled, stress free home. Another effective way to reduce time pressures and feel more in charge is by sorting out tasks and sharing them. It's easy to feel swamped when you try to do everything yourself, but remember, you don't have to. Figure out which tasks are most important and need to be done right away so that you can take care of them yourself. Knowing you will handle the important task right instead of hoping someone else gets it done will make you feel better and less anxious. Then share the rest with your spouse and kids, or even consider getting outside help. For example, if food shopping wastes too much of your time, why not ask for help or give it to someone else in the family? Or think about getting a cleaning service to help with housework. By properly delegating tasks, you can focus on what matters and avoid feeling swamped by your nerve ending list of things to do. I said nerve ending, I meant never ending list of things to do. Try adding these time saving tricks into your daily routine. You'll see a big improvement in your overall happiness and stress levels. You'll feel more in charge of your time, letting you manage other parts of your life and enjoy a more balanced and satisfying life. Deception. When someone lies to us, we naturally feel let down, which can make us upset and annoyed. But it's not just being lied to that can cause these feelings. Sometimes, when we tell a lie, we end up feeling guilty without even knowing we are, leading to other feelings like anger. We've all been in a situation where we've told a lie, maybe because we were avoiding confrontation or wanting to keep someone we care about safe. When we lie to our kids, for example, we might get annoyed and yell at them more easily. But this habit of lying can often blow up in our faces and cause more problems later on. For example, I recall a story my friend told me where she confessed that her mother took 10 years to explain why she broke up with her father. My friend recalled that whenever she asked her mother about the situation, she would get defensive and snap at her. This is a common way to keep distance from those we've lied to and avoid dealing with what we've done. This defense mechanism only causes more harm. It can lead to relationships breaking down, loss of trust, or even physical and mental health problems. As it goes to show, at the age of 28, my friend just now realized she deeply resented her mother all those years. When we are honest and open with each other, everything changes. Being truthful and transparent with our loved ones creates a place of trust and respect where we can be authentic without fear of being judged or criticized. We also benefit because it forms a solid and supportive relationship. By facing and dealing with problems truthfully, we can make our relationships more robust and able to handle even the most complicated challenges. Think about the relationship between parent and child. When a parent is honest and open with their child, it builds trust and respect, creating a space where they can be genuine and connect. This is especially important during hard times, as it allows both parties to work through problems together in an honest and clear manner. Ooh, Matthew Graham, do you be writing these wonderful, wonderful words? But in practice, how many of us are able to apply the principles that Matthew Graham has written in this book? This stuff sounds amazing. For example, suppose your child comes up to you with a problem. They might find schoolwork challenging or dealing with friends who are not being nice. Take notice that they are coming to you and initiating a conversation. They are opening their door and being vulnerable. You don't know if they feel hesitant or unsure whether you would care enough to help. You shouldn't dismiss them or make them feel as if their issues are unimportant. This may lead them to close up and they will think twice the next time they have a concern. Be genuine and open in return. Take the time to truly understand your child's problems and work hand in hand to find a solution with them. This could involve seeking help from a professional like a tutor or a counselor or Coach B. All right. Or it might even mean having a good old fashioned talk. The main thing here is that you and your child team up in a trusting, open environment, overcoming the obstacle together. Sound good? I'm sure it does. All of these things are great in writing, but it takes practice. It really, truly does take practice to break generational cycles of lies and snapping behavior. But I really do like where this book is headed, right? We're getting to the direction of getting to the meat and potatoes of our past. These are the things that happen that are activating factors in our anger. Next is disappointments. We all experience disappointment in life, and it's only natural to feel frustrated when our children don't reach our expectations. As a parent, we want nothing but the best for them, and it can be discouraging when they fall short. But it's important to remember that disappointment can also be an opportunity for growth and self reflection. For instance, imagine a situation where a child comes home with a report card filled with C's instead of A's and B's you were expecting. You might feel a sense of self blame and worry about the impact of your child's performance, but instead of directing your frustration towards your child, you can choose to channel these emotions into positive change. Like getting a tutor, maybe working on it. With my 10-year-old last year, I used to write, I got one of those boards, um, dry erase, and it just tapes to the closet door. I would write math problems on them for her to figure out in the morning. And if she gets so many right, there'd be a dollar amount. And, you know, problems that she can solve. And she really liked that. She actually asked me to start doing it again because we had stopped and now we moved, we're settled. So we're going to pick that up this year when school starts. Next, you must discuss your concerns openly and honestly with your child. Ask them about their challenges and what they need from you to succeed. How can I support you is a good way to go, right? Show empathy and support and work together to develop a plan to help them improve their grades. This can involve finding additional resources, such as a tutor, or providing more structure and support at home. Last but not least, make sure you celebrate your child's efforts and progress, no matter how small it might be. The best way to motivate them is to recognize their strengths and acknowledge their hard work. By focusing on their efforts and growth, you can help build their confidence and resilience and instill in them a love of learning and a desire to improve. Facts. This all sounds like peer work, strength based, supporting self advocacy, celebrating, cheerleading, all the things. Disappointment can be a powerful catalyst for change if we view it as such. By channeling our frustration into self reflection and positive action, we can turn setbacks into opportunities for growth, not only for our children, but for ourselves as well. So if you ever find yourself facing disappointment, remember to turn it into an opportunity for you and your child to reach new heights by turning it into something positive and empowering. When faced with danger to ourselves or our loved ones, an institutional self preservation instinct arises. This is called personal risk, often unbeknownst to us. I recall a parent who jumped into deep water without hesitation upon seeing their son fall overboard from a speeding boat. Despite injuring himself, he saved his child in a demonstration of innate survival. Similarly, when we are personally attacked, whether physically or emotionally, our natural response is to defend ourselves. If you constantly criticize your child in a degrading way, it can lead to severe resentment in your relationship. Having our self esteem or identity threatened can ignite a rage that will leave us feeling defensive and irritable due to the attack. It's crucial to be mindful of how we treat others and always strive to follow the golden rule: treat others the way you wish to be treated. However, in my coaching, I'm going to pause here before I continue reading. I love the golden rule, and it is a prerequisite for what I have come to know as the platinum rule, which is treat others how they want to be treated. And the analogy or example that I use when explaining what that looks like, what the difference is. So, the golden rule: if I loan you my brand new car and you're a really good friend of mine, a sibling, whatever the case may be, it's just a car. But the point is, if I loan you my car and you say to me, I'm going to treat it like it's my own, well, that's the golden rule. Right on. But how about we elevate, evolve to the platinum rule, where you treat my car like it's my car? Because if you smoke and drive fast, I don't want those things happening in my car because I don't do those things in my car, right? So that's the difference between the golden rule and the platinum rule. Treat people how they want to be treated. And the only way to know how somebody wants to be treated is with AC. Authentic curiosity, ask open ended questions, dig a little bit, right? Doing so makes us less likely to lash out and attack without meaning to, and we can help our children maintain their self esteem. Incorporating this attitude into our daily lives will help us learn to manage our anger and avoid boiling over from even the slightest provocation. This way, we can build stronger relationships with those around us and create a more harmonious world. Prejudice and discrimination is another form of anger, a trigger. Much like injustice, discrimination is a source of anger with more severe and widespread consequences. Imagine if your child was passed over for a role in a school play simply because the teacher preferred another student. While it may be disappointing, the situation becomes much more alarming if the reason for the rejection is based on your child's skin color, ethnicity, religious beliefs. Prejudice and discrimination can leave individuals feeling small and powerless, leading to resentment. Confronting prejudice and discrimination is not only the right thing to do, but also can be emotionally taxing, evoking anger on both sides of the situation. Those who experience discrimination become upset, and those who perpetuate it with hateful slurs and actions become defensive and angry. Dealing with discrimination calmly and effectively is a challenging task, but one that is vital to overcoming prejudice and promoting equality. All right, Matthew Grant, fucking with it. I feel you. Anger can stem not only from societal issues such as discrimination and prejudice, but also from the relationships closest to us, those between parents and their children. It is essential to recognize your anger triggers so that you can be able to manage them appropriately. By working on these triggers, you can create a healthier emotional life for yourself. Matthew Grant is doing his thing so far. I'm really digging this chapter. My kid's juice is delicious. The hidden causes behind parental anger and parent child bonds. The connection between you and your child is one of a kind and unbreakable, yet it's also one of the most intricate relationships known to humankind. It's not unusual for children to struggle to express gratitude and love toward their parents, which may feel disappointing. You shouldn't let this trouble you because despite the possible conflicts, anger, and the emotional roller coaster ride your kids will give you, the bond between you and your child will most likely remain strong. Have you ever heard of a theory called the ghost in the nursery? It's an interesting concept that strives to explain how a parent's upbringing, often traumatic, significantly impacts their parenting style when they grow older. Basically, it's when a parent has hidden and unresolved issues. This is called the ghost. This ghost unknowingly haunts a parent's relationships with their child, leading them to unintentionally pass on negative habits or feelings to their child. Due to a rough childhood, some parents might attempt to create their own idealized childhood experience through their children. Parents may find easy compliance from their children at a young age as they try to shape them to be just like them or have them carry out an idealized version of their past. However, as the child grows and their personality emerges, conflicts may occur when the child starts expressing their preferences that don't match the parent's idealized vision for them. Sadly, this mismatch can result in unreasonable actions and intense disagreements, leading to angry outbursts from both sides. Boy, have I witnessed this. Woo. We got a 10-year-old going on 25 and a 7-year-old going on 3. Mm, yeah, figure that one out. You must remember that your child is a unique person of their own with distinct personalities, preferences, and dreams. It is unreasonable and unfair to try and mold them to be something they are not. As parents, your job is to help them grow to be the best versions of themselves, not mold another version of yourself. So we're teaching our kids pie, pursue internal evolution. By helping them grow into the person they were meant to be, they will be able to walk this earth and offer their unique talents and gifts to everyone they cross paths with, and they will have you to thank for that. Have you realized that each parent reacts differently to their children's misbehavior? One may handle it calmly, while the other may lose patience quickly. Sounds like me and my wife. Despite what is commonly believed, a parent's anger is not solely a result of their child's misbehavior. Fear, repressed anger, and stress often play a more significant role in triggering anger in parents. Let's dive into the most common causes of parental anger and learn how to overcome them. Or at least let's learn how to practice overcoming them. Matthew Grant is real, he has a lot of confidence in his readers. By understanding the ghosts in the nursery and searching for the root causes of parental anger, you can work to strengthen your relationship with your children. The weight of expectations. Raising kids is an adventure filled with ups, downs, and countless instances of wonder and surprises, yet it can almost become a source of stress and confusion, mainly when parents believe their kids' entire future lies exclusively in their hands. Kids in the process of growth and development are bound to make mistakes, but these instances serve as vital stepping stones in their learning curve. Amid such intense pressure, it's sometimes forgotten that kids are in the midst of growth, acquiring knowledge and finding their own way in life. Unfortunately, this pressure may push parents to demand too much from their children, scrutinizing every misstep and criticizing every little flaw. This can cause feelings of anger and frustration on both sides, so it's essential to take a step back and reconsider your behavior. As parents, our aim is to give our kids what they require while valuing and appreciating their unique viewpoints. Remember, every kid is special and may interpret the world differently. Respecting and cherishing their differences is crucial. Although our influence as parents is significant, it's not the determining factor in our children's future. Our role is undeniably essential in shaping their lives, but at the end of the day, they're the ones who will walk their own paths. Accepting this can lessen some burdens we might bear as parents and give our children the space they need to carve out their own journeys. Your job should be to guide them to the best of your abilities, while ultimately giving them the freedom to make their own decisions once they are old enough. You need to establish a bond that makes them feel safe and secure for them to reach out and come to you when they make mistakes. Here you can guide and help them back onto the right path. By adopting this mindset, you can forge a solid and meaningful relationship with your kids while helping them unlock their greatest potential. Fear of the past. Being a parent is undoubtedly intimidating, and feeling a bit scared and unsure is entirely normal. However, letting fear dictate how we parent can have more downsides than benefits, and even prove damaging. When fear becomes our driving force, we unintentionally become overly rigid, controlling, or critical toward our kids. This behavior could make them feel stressed or develop a rebellious attitude. My older brother, uh, Salim, when he went through the Recovery Coach Academy and the Certified Peer Counselor training, he wanted to do a podcast and he wanted to start a talk. And I remember he talked about this concept, and I really wanted him to run with it. So I'm going to share it now, but it's not mine, but it is kind of dope, right? And his concept was an acronym called FOLLY. Fear of loss leads you. And so breaking that down, it's kind of like what Matthew Grant is saying here in this section, right? When you're guided by the fear of loss, or maybe something really bad happened to you and you're just super overprotective, it's going to lead you down a very specific path of parenting, at least in this instance where folly could apply. Okay, back to Matthew Grant's book. This behavior often backfires, leading to resistance, further anger. The fear of repeating our parents' mistakes, particularly if they were negative experiences, can also cause you to lash out in anger. The goal of parenting isn't perfection, but to foster a nurturing and supportive environment for your kids to flourish. Yes, mistakes will happen. But how we tackle these hurdles is what truly counts. And this is from me to you. Our kids watch us. They use their eyes more than their ears when it comes to what they choose to take from our parenting. We might say the things, but they're watching what we do, and that's what matters to them the most. Look at it this way. If you're carrying fears due to past experience, it means you've endured something unpleasant, a situation you never wished upon your own kids. However, there's a bright side. You now hold the upper hand. You can quickly examine those past events, pinpoint any harmful behavior trends, and ensure they don't repeat in your parenting style. If something seems a little more complex and you can't seem to understand it on your own, you can now seek help from a professional therapist for guidance, or a parent partner, or a coach, or a peer counselor. Most likely, you've acquired a keen understanding of emotions due to these traumatic events. You can use this insight when dealing with your child, applying all you've learned to foster a significantly healthier and more rewarding life for your entire family. By transforming past mistakes into opportunities for self betterment and growth, you can move past most, if not all, fear induced behavior currently guiding your actions. In doing so, you'll soon convert the fear of falling into a roadmap to success. Next is repressed anger. If childhood trauma, anger, and anxiety remain unnoticed and unresolved, they might resurface, resulting in parents becoming edgy and short fused. This happens particularly in homes where communication is lacking, where kids are hesitant to voice their feelings, fearing their parents' wrath, or where parents are too preoccupied to lend an ear. These pent up feelings can form a divide between you and your kid, leading to unexpressed frustration and anxiety. Becoming a parent can awaken these buried feelings, making one reflect on their childhood and leading to self doubt, resulting in an emotional whirlwind. However, addressing these dormant feelings and mending the parent child bonds call for effort, self reflection, and readiness to delve into one's deepest feelings and experiences. It might be a demanding journey, but it's crucial for developing a bond with your child. The perks of self discovery are manyfold, including heightened self awareness, better communication, and a profound understanding of one's emotional triggers. By taking time to introspect your feelings, you achieve a higher self awareness and are better prepared to tackle any challenges that might crop up in your relationship with your child. Consider it a contribution to your personal growth and the well being of your bond with your child. Taking up this journey of self discovery is a brave move toward a brighter future for you and your child. It requires guts to face our feelings, but the payoff is a more robust, loving bond that can brave life's storms. So, if you find yourself overwhelmed or strained in your parental role, remember that the solution might be exploring and comprehending your very own feelings. Matthew Grant. Make sure you get a copy of this book so that way you can follow along. One of my goals in life is to continue with my reading. I did a lot of time incarcerated and I loved to read. And then I got out and I didn't read as much. Social media, you can have things read to you essentially. But I do enjoy reading. I do enjoy different points of minds and connecting with people like Matthew Graham. What a great author, right? The next piece is the burden of stress. Parenting is a monumental task that demands far more than just catering to your child's needs. It calls for unending love, protection, guidance, and much more. Given the magnitude of responsibilities, it's no shock that pressures of parenting can lead to immense stress. The moment your newborn enters the world, you're met with unforeseen costs and calls on your time and energy. As your child grows, their needs multiply, adding to the already hefty list of responsibilities. It's normal to aim for perfection and want the best for your child, but keep in mind that nobody is flawless. The high expectations and stress accompanying parenting can stir up a storm, triggering feelings of anger and frustration. The trick lies in understanding that this is a routine part of the parenting voyage, and allocating time for self care and stress management is crucial. Same thing in the field I'm in. We must do intentional self care. Marriages and partnerships can compound the stress of parenting, especially if there's strife in the relationship. Remember that when the tensions rise, the children often end up bearing the anger, even if it's not aimed at them. It's essential to pause, identify the root cause of the discord, and address it to prevent any unintentional anger towards your child. It's kind of like the agreements. We talk about agreeing not to create any collateral damage or as little as possible in our journey to heal. A lot of what Matthew Grant is saying in this book really aligns with the blueprint philosophy. It's about recovery, healing yourself first so that you can parent through a better lens. Frequently reassure yourself that you're doing your best. Remember that all parents experience this. By prioritizing self care and stress management, you can ensure the joy of parenting is not eclipsed by anger and frustration. Always remember your love for your child is paramount, and by taking care of yourself, you'll be better positioned to express that love daily. Understanding the complexities of anger. Anger is a sophisticated emotion, often misjudged and mismanaged. With its various shapes and triggers, it's understandable how anger can escalate quickly, impacting us and the people we care about. Yet, by dedicating time to explore and learn about its different aspects, we can enhance our understanding of how this emotion influences us and our dear ones. Experts have singled out 10 types of anger, each with unique traits and impacts. From the type of anger that fuels positive change, assertive anger, to the kind that breeds fear and instability, explosive anger. Each version of anger comes with its unique set of challenges, but with adequate understanding and knowledge, we can learn how to steer our anger in a positive and constructive direction, strengthening our relationships in the process. Whether you're wrestling with your anger or attempting to help a loved one, discerning the various types of anger is the first stride towards fostering a more harmonious and serene life. So, last but not least, we're going to go through these. Assertive anger. This type of anger can serve as a potent instrument for instigating change and championing one's rights or those of others. When communicated healthily and assertively, it can aid in overcoming fear, bias, and other hurdles. For instance, reprimanding a child for participating in risky activities can be an instance of assertive anger, steering them towards safer practices. Next is behavioral anger. This form of anger manifests through bullying, harassment, and other damaging action causing physical or emotional harm to others. Chronic anger. Individuals who have undergone traumatic experience or have dealt with persistent anger during their childhood are more prone to chronic anger. This kind of anger can hamper the formation and preservation of healthy relationships. Judgmental anger. This form of anger emerges when an individual unjustly judges the actions or behaviors of others, often arising from feelings of superiority or disparity. It can present as dismissiveness or a tendency to reject differing perspectives. Overwhelmed anger. Faced with a situation that feels beyond our control, it's easy to succumb to frustration and feel overwhelmed. This type of anger is more likely when an individual feels strained or stressed from shouldering excessive responsibilities. Passive aggressive anger. This type of anger can be tricky to recognize that it often shows up as sarcasm, sabotage, or other forms of passive resistance. For instance, a passive aggressive colleague might intentionally delay a project or render themselves unavailable to dodge confrontation. Retaliatory anger. In this type of anger, we seek reprisal against those who have wronged us and retribution against those accountable for such harm. It can lead to harsh words and the urge to end a dispute by entirely silencing the other person. Self abusive anger. Here, the anger is directed inward, often manifesting as negative self talk, self harm, substance abuse, and other damaging behaviors. Verbal anger. Words can inflict as much pain as physical actions, and verbal anger can cause lasting damage. Yelling, insult, bullying, and humiliation are examples of verbal anger, potentially leading to feelings of shame and guilt. Then volatile anger. When anger explodes in an intense manner, it can have a profound effect on those around us, inducing panic and fear among those in proximity to the individual. I know I personally experienced some volatile anger episodes throughout my youth and a little bit past my youth. While different types of anger may require different management approaches, it's important to identify and address our anger in a healthy and constructive way, whether it's through breathing exercises, conflict resolution skills, or seeking professional help. Taking control of our anger can help us build better relationships and live a more fulfilling life. Nonetheless, having a basic understanding of these different forms of anger can help you know where you stand. The beauty about YouTube videos is you can rewind, you can listen to all 10 of those again and again and kind of decide where you're at. It's not always going to be linear. You might go in and out of all different kinds of anger because we all experience anger. The power of self reflection. When anger takes hold of a parent child relationship, the effects can be devastating and far reaching. The effects: children rely on their parents for survival and security. So when a parent's anger becomes a constant presence, it can shake a child's very foundation. Every time a parent lashes out with explosive behaviors such as yelling, hitting, criticizing, belittling, or physically or emotionally abusing the child may feel threatened, unsafe, and insecure, as if they could be punished and separated from their basic needs at any moment. These actions can leave lasting scars, both emotional and physical, that can follow a child into adulthood. But it's not just the present moment that is impacted. The residual effects of anger in a parent child relationship can linger long into adulthood. Children who grow up in homes where anger is constantly present may struggle with trust issues, insecurity, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. They may also struggle with managing their emotions and resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms to try and numb the pain caused by their childhood experiences. That's why it's so crucial for parents to become self aware and actively work on managing their anger. It takes effort, patience, and a willingness to change. But the benefits are immeasurable. Parents can lay the foundation for a happy, healthy life filled with love, trust, and stability by creating a safe and stable environment for their children. The good news is that if you are a parent struggling with anger, you should know that it's never too late to make changes and restore the relationship with your child. To gain a deeper understanding of your emotions and the ways in which anger affects your life, it's essential to engage in self reflection. This exercise can help you identify the patterns of your anger experience and expressions, known as your anger model. By taking a closer look at your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for growth, you can make meaningful changes to manage your anger in a healthier, more positive way. Are you ready to embark on a journey of self discovery and take control of your anger? Are you? This is your moment to shine. I'm here to cheer you on. Get comfortable, grab a pen and paper, and let's dive into uncovering your anger's hidden patterns and expressions. This is your chance to be honest and vulnerable with yourself, to examine your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for growth, and to transform your anger into a positive force in your life. I invite you to answer the following questions with all your heart and allow yourself to explore the depths of your emotions. Trust me, the insights you'll gain from this exercise will be life changing. So take a deep breath, let go of any self doubt, and embrace this opportunity to grow and transform yourself. Okay, here are the questions. How often do you feel angry in a day and in a week? When do you typically feel angry? Can you identify specific situations or circumstances that trigger your anger? Are they related to work, relationships, or other areas of your life? When you become angry, how do you usually respond? Do you become loud, aggressive, or violent? Do you become passive aggressive or express your anger in a more indirect way? Do you withdraw or avoid the situation? When you become angry, what are the physical sensations you experience? Do you feel your heart rate increase, your face flush, or your muscles tense up? Do you feel like you can control your anger or does it control you? Do you express your anger in a loud or aggressive manner? Do you tend to keep your anger bottled up inside or do you express it? How does your anger affect others around you? How does your anger affect your relationships with others? Do you push people away or do they become more distant from you? Have you ever said or done something in anger that you later regretted? Do you feel like your anger is justified in certain situations? How do you typically handle conflicts with others? How does your anger affect your self esteem and self worth? Do you feel confident, empowered, or ashamed and guilty? How does your anger affect your overall well being and quality of life? Do you use alcohol or drugs to cope with your anger? How does your anger affect your sleep, your appetite, and other aspects of your physical health? Have you ever sought professional help for your anger, such as therapy or counseling? What was that experience like for you? What have been some of the consequences of your anger in your life? Have you lost relationships, jobs, or opportunities because of anger? What changes would you like to see in your relationship with your anger? What steps can you take to achieve those changes? Steering life in your desired direction can be a beautiful and empowering experience. By digging deep and developing a new sense of self awareness. You will skyrocket your self assurance, placing you in the driver's seat of your life and giving you a new sense of power and confidence. You can gain a new sense of control over your life by understanding your triggers, traumas, and the underlying reasons behind your reactions and behaviors. As you embrace this newfound sense of control, you can become a happier and more confident individual. With the knowledge that you have the power to transform into the positive and optimistic person you aspire to be. By unlocking the power of self discovery, you can ignite your inner confidence and blast through life's challenges at full speed, paving the way for a life that aligns with your desires and aspirations. I encourage you to answer each question as truthfully as possible and to study your answers with a curious and open mind. Take the time to reflect on your responses and explore any insights or revelations that may arise. Wow. Anger management for parents. That concludes chapter 2. Thank you for joining. I was hoping that each episode would be about 30 minutes, but as I said, my goal, my project is to do a chapter an episode. And if it takes longer than 30 minutes, it takes longer than 30 minutes. I am trying to instill tools, Matthew Grand obviously spent a lot of time on this particular tool, and whether he knows it or not, likes me or not, I'm promoting his work because so far, so good. I agree with nearly everything he said, and I encourage you to get a copy. Get your own copy. Follow along. Next episode will be the start of chapter 3, how a little self love can make a big difference. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about Coach B. Follow me on Facebook, Bilal Willis, BILALWILLIS, aka Coach B. There's also subscription options, $1.99 a month, $1.99 a month.